So, on our last episode, on our episode before last, our last episode we worked on BlackBerry registration. And I think one person watched it, which is exciting, and I think they watched it to be ironic. But that's okay.
There were 3 people.
Okay, it said 3 people watching. I exaggerated saying 1. But yeah, so we didn't work any on the project on the previous episode, but the one before that, we were in the middle of making kind of a roll maneuver, and we had made the gameplay much better. So now it's actually losable. We've got tilting. I forgot about the tilting, actually. We've got tilting on the game now, so when you move left and right, it tilts. That's interesting that it's working. Did I support everything? I swear there was something I didn't support on the tilting, and I thought it was the buttons, but evidently we're supporting it just fine. If I go to...
For the dash
rotate.
we were starting out with.
Oh, yeah,
just
it
one thing.
was probably the dash that I was thinking about then. So I'm going to open up rotate based on input, though. I just am curious if there is something here that wasn't done. But I thought it was this one that I skipped something. Nope, horizontal or greater than. Okay, so yeah, we support both. Cool. Yeah, so it was the move left and right that we were just doing left press and right press for now. Cool. So that's awesome. And so yeah, we've got movement. We've got hooks for double tapping to roll. So if you double tap, you'll see a bunch of dash right messages or dash left messages as appropriate. The reason they show so many is because, remember, our cube isn't moving. It feels like it is, but it's actually everything else that's moving around us. And we've got title screen with, like, colors. We've got the high score system. We've got all sorts of cool stuff. So, project's looking great. I do want to finish up implementing this dash thing. Then we'll probably take suggestions as to what we'd like to work on. We basically have this episode and the next episode, and possibly a part of the third episode tonight, to work on what we have in the game. Basically, what we're done with tonight is what we're going to be shipping. So we built this thing kind of wide base first, so we could always just add more features and stuff, and I'd hope to put more stuff into this project, but I do want to keep it to around 31 episodes, because that's kind of what I have time for and what we can do. If it needs to go over for whatever reason, we can, but I am going to try and we're going to call what we're doing tonight Goldmaster Candidate. If there's other things that we need to fix for various platforms and stuff, we'll be doing more work on the publishing side. But what we see is what we're going to get, probably, with whatever we do tonight. So if you have something that you absolutely want to be in this game, let me know, and we'll see about implementing it. So, what are we going to do? Load level on key. So right now we've got the hookups for the dashing, but we don't actually have a dash yet. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go into move left and right, which is the one that we are first doing this on. And I think our logic for the dash is actually solid right now. So let's look at actually implementing our dash. So what I want the dash to be is basically a forced move. When you are dashing, you move at a faster rate, but you can't adjust your movement when you're in the middle of a dash. And what we have is we have a dash speed and a dash duration. So for that whole second that you're in the dash, you have no control, but you move at double the speed. At least in the default case. We may tweak these values, and we probably will tweak these values. So, and if we have time, we might do a little animation, like maybe flip the cube or something, so that it looks like it's doing something other than moving. Or at least put a sound effect or something in. So, we're going to need a coroutine for this. So, we already set up an is dashing bool, but I don't have it set anywhere. That's because I'm going to do that actually in the coroutine. So we're going to do I enumerator, and we're going to call this dash. And actually, I'm going to make 2 of them. I'm going to do at dash left and dash right. We might combine them into one later, but we'll see just how it feels here. So what we're going to do, we've done this kind of thing on an enumerator before. We're going to have a float t, which is our time variable. We're going to start that at 0.0f. We're going to then do while t is less than dash duration. while t is less than dash duration, and then we Command Z or Control Z to get out of the auto correction on where these things are supposed to be. So while t is less than dash duration, we're going to do t plus equals time dot delta time. I do this just so I don't forget it, and I also like to do yield return null just so I don't forget it. So this means increment our t by time, and this means stop here and return to right after here on the next frame. So what we're going to actually be doing is we're going to be moving our position based on I guess speed and or dash speed rather. And so what we're going to do is while t is less than duration, we're going to say transform.position plus equals transform dot, how did we do this before? Transform, okay, we'll do vector3 dot left. Vector3 dot left times dash speed times time dot delta time, and then we do t plus equals delta time, and you'll return null. And then at the end here, so at the beginning when we start this thing, we're going to do is dashing equals true, and at the end we're going to do is dashing equals false. And finally, and I'm going to put less than or equal to dash duration. It doesn't make a huge difference in this case, but I think that's more accurate to time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to invoke dash left here. So we're going to do, so button pressed equals true. We still want to do that, and we're going to do dash left, and we're going to do start coroutine. So it actually starts as a coroutine, so it can be interrupted and stuff. So we're going to save that, and I'm going to just duplicate this. This is definitely duplicated code, so we could combine these later, but I'm not going to bother right at the moment. Save, and we're going to call this dash right, though. Dash right, file save, and we're going to put dash right in a similar place on this section here, so dash right. Finally, what are we going to do here? So what we want to do is we want to make it so that we don't actually move unless we're not dashing. So I'm going to go ahead and put around all of this if not is dashing, then we don't do any of these things. And Command Z, because I didn't like what it just did to my stuff there, and I still want to tab it out, so I'm going to select all this and hit tab, and it'll bring it over one side. So let's see, if not is dashing, then we do this stuff. We probably can do this in not dashing as well. We'll see. We'll find out. And I'm going to hit save, and let's see what this actually does. So we're moving, and then we double tap. I think I'm doing something weird. So if we go to our pillars right now, if we go to prefabs, pillar parent, and look at that, it's got move left and right, and we're telling it speed -10. So that probably means that our dash speed is way too low. And actually it's the wrong type of value because we had to change it to negative at some point. I don't know why. Oh, because we're moving these relative to, got it. This was kind of built for something that we were moving left and right, but we're moving the other objects left and right relative to us, so it's a negative. So I'm going to put -20 here, so it's double the speed, and we're going to make the dash duration a little bit longer. I'm going to do 2. I just want to make sure float t equals 0, that's great, while it's less than or equal to dash duration, that's great, t plus equals time dot delta time. Just want to make sure all that stuff's there. So, so let's go ahead and hit play. And so now we're moving, and then we dash. We try to dash. Oh wait, that won't work because I'm double tapping there. So if I double tap here, we just dash. There we go. There's our 2 seconds of dashing. So it looks weird right now, but it does work. It looks like I can't adjust the position while I'm dashing. Oh, that's another interesting problem. So things that are coming in aren't affected by our dash. How do we solve that? That's a tough problem. So remember, part of the problem here is the player's not moving, all the other objects are moving. And so when we dash, we start a coroutine on all the pillars that exist at that moment. But unfortunately, there's ones that come in afterwards that then don't move with our dash. It actually kind of looks cool because we get this kind of parallax scrolling effect, but it's kind of confusing from a gameplay perspective.
We could make the timer... They're all going to be using the same timer, right? Or, I mean, the timer should be the same on all of them.
Yeah, I guess we could make it static or something, right?
And then if it's running, start the coroutine on the new one that just spawned.
So we make t static or something, and if t is not equal to...
We can make is dashing static.
Yeah, okay. That's something. That's an angle we could definitely do. Let me check in what we've got so far. I'm just going to save scene, save project, and do a check-in source tree. We're going to grab our move left and right, pillar parent, and level 1, and we're going to hit commit. And this is going to be first pass dash. Dash still has some problems. Only supports touch/mouse. New pillars do not animate correctly during a dash. So push commits immediately to origin. And let's take a quick look at the audience to see if anyone has anything to say today so far. So we're going to go comments. You need to add online saving or online high score online. Then retrieving from online is the last feature you can is the best last feature you could possibly add. It's a really hard last feature because it basically means that we have to build a web interface and we have to do a lot of stuff. I'm probably not going to be doing that on this show. I apologize. Pause menu too. Yeah, that's definitely something that we could add. Tweeted you earlier with a couple scripts. One with to keep the ground moving with the pillars, and another to scale the pillars over distance. Yes, I saw that. That's cool. I kind of want to, at least what we show on the show, I want to actually show all of it. So I appreciate that you've provided some scripts, and actually people should check out his GitHub. He forked the repo, so you might see cool stuff come from people who are forking the repo. So definitely check into it. I don't want to just like copy paste your code into here. I want to kind of build it all up. This is from scratch, and I want to keep it that way. So let's see here. What could we be doing? So yeah, let's try the static variable methodology here. So we're going to do a private float t, and we are going to do a we're going to get rid of this here so we're not declaring it twice. We need a private float t. We're going to make it a private static float t, and private static bool is dashing. Finally, what else do we need to do? So at start, if is dashing, then what we're going to do is we're going to start a coroutine out although we need to change our coroutine a little bit. So if is dashing, start oh, and we need to know which direction we're dashing, right? So
we could merge the...
Yeah, that's probably the time to do it. So, so what I'm going to do is we're going to give a parameter to this thing. We're going to do dash left, and we're going to do it as with a float. Float. Actually, first I want to get rid of this. And so float speed, I guess. And we will just call this dash. I'm going to switch this to vector3.right, and we're going to do times speed, and I'll just get rid of this one here. And then what we're going to do is, instead of doing dash left, dash right, we're going to do dash and give it a speed. So the dash will be dashing speed. That's what it's called, right? No, dash speed. Dash speed. So dash speed. So this is for left. That's probably correct. No, wait, no.
Negative dash speed.
No, I think it's actually should be negative on this one, shouldn't it? Because we're kind of in the opposite land. I don't know. Let's find out. So we do that. Let's see if this works the way that we were working before. So I'm going to hit play. It's not going to compile. All right. So double tap left. Oh, it's double tap left. Okay. So that was fascinating. Only one thing moved. Oh, it's because so if not is dashing. So dashing is true at one point, and so all the other ones don't start their own coroutines. So we need to actually not do it this way. So I'm going to remove it from here, but then I'm going to add it again. So we're going to make it so if... We're going to put an else if not dashing. Not is dashing. Perfect. And we'll do that on both of these. And save. And we'll see what happens here. Alright, that doesn't work. Alright, so you were right. It was the other way. So, so the other problem here is the IEnumerator is adding to dash every frame. This is a really screwed up way of doing this. This is becoming a hack job. So first, let's fix what you said. You were totally right. Dash speed and negative dash speed. Save. And so
we could keep is dashing as separate for each one, and then use the timer.
Or we could keep the timer separate for each one and use is dashing, which is what we're closer to. So I'm just going to do that.
Well, we need the timer when we're starting a new coroutine. That's the whole.
Our problem right now is the fact that the timer incrementing problem. So I guess we could just do the timer increment. That's right. We could do the timer increment here. So t plus equals time dot delta time. And then we don't increase it here. And we do reset it here. That's appropriate. I'm going to move all these back because they're no longer supposed to be tabbed out that much. Yeah, this actually might work. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and make t equal 0.0f to start. And save. And so if is dashing, then what we do is start coroutine. So we don't want to actually reset this to 0 here. We actually want to do this outside. We want to do this in just before we do the coroutine. So t equals 0.0f and t equals 0.0f. Save. And the reason we're doing that is now we won't be resetting it when we call this coroutine, so we'll do start coroutine. We still don't have a direction. So how do we determine that? Guess we'll just do private static bool. Actually, let's do private static float dash direction equals 1.0f. So what we'll do is we'll set dash direction equals negative 1.0f, and then we'll do dash speed times dash direction, and we will do down here dash direction equals positive 1.0f, and we'll still just do, we could just explicitly put that in the equation, but I'm not going to. We're going to have it nice generic, and then we can just do the same start coroutine up here, and it should work. So let's see what this does. Save.
There's a semicolon missing.
There is? Yep, there is. There might be 2. Yep, there's 2. Save. Hit play. Oops. Everything seemed to dash. Let me actually go and reset some of our parameters here. So if we go into our pillar here, we've got on pillar parent, dash speed, negative 20, dash duration 2. T is less than dash duration. It seemed like the dash duration was way lower than 2 seconds. 1,000. Yeah, that's way lower than 2 seconds. I don't think it's working at all now.
I think the time is still being incremented on each cylinder.
Oh, yes, it is. You're right. Because update is still happening on each cylinder. So how do we want to solve that? I guess we're going to have to not use a time incrementing system. Let's go ahead and...
a real hack way of solving it.
Okay, what's your real hack way while I check this stuff in?
Go into Game Manager Update and call move left right.
Yeah, that would do it. T. Yeah.
Plus equals time dot plus time.
Moving right along. More move left, right stuff. All right, so So the hackiest way,
there's another way too.
The ultimate hack would be to keep track of the number of them and then divide it by that. But
there's a lot of hack ways.
Yeah,
to do it.
yeah.
We could also have a private static previous frame t, and then each one would do previous frame t plus previous frame t equals previous frame t plus time, or no, t equals previous frame t plus time dot delta time. So that way they'd all be setting it, but they'd all be setting it to the same thing.
That could work. That could work. Let's see. T plus equals time to delta time. So to explain what the actual problem is, and I think most of you have kind of figured this out by looking at, but what's happening here is update is being called by every single cylinder. And T is a static variable, so it's shared between all the cylinders. So each cylinder is coming in here and being like, oh, I should add time.delta time. And so they all do. And so T increments at a much faster rate. It increments at time.delta time times the number of cylinders that are active. So, what do you have? You have something?
We could do the timer differently and have T be time.realtime since startup.
Yeah, we could do that. That's I think the most appropriate way to solve it. Which is actually very similar to your previous time solution as well, except for more explicit. So what we will do is, so instead of T, all right, so T will actually just change to T equals time dot real time since
I think we'd want it
startup.
actually up in the dash places and just removed from there altogether.
So bam and bam.
Semicolon.
So one that's not the real time since startup, like I'd like one that's actually
What, fake time since startup?
Well, yeah, honestly. Time.time, yeah, this is what we want. Because we want this to be affected by, so should someone do some like time manipulation stuff, we'd want it to have that effect. So time, and what we will do is while.
Oh, so that means that we want the. Wait.
We want what?
You want it affected by time manipulation?
Yeah, like time scale. If someone changes the time scale, we would definitely want it to affect this, right? Wouldn't we?
And time.time is going to do that?
Yeah, time.time will do that. So while T is less than or equal to...
Well, time.time minus T.
Time... time minus T, this is how you'd word it, is less than or equal to, so time minus T is less than or equal to dash duration. That's right. So let's give that a shot. Save. And yeah, let's give this a shot. Hit play. Oops, that doesn't work. 1001, 1002. Yep, that looks perfect. And the ones that are coming in are affected by it, although I just saw one that wasn't moving for some reason. And those ones weren't moving. So I think the ones that come in on the same frame that you do the move are still not being affected. Maybe I'm making an assumption up here that I didn't realize. No, that's okay. So if is dashing, start coroutine dash. So is there a way to check if a coroutine is running? Coroutine.
You can, if you put the, I don't remember how to do it, but you can put, I think you can put start coroutine into a variable somehow and then check it.
Yeah. If is dashing, start coroutine. So what's happening here is a script execution order problem. Let's actually try just changing the script execution order and see if this just goes away. So if we go to script execution order and we add our move left and right, and what are we doing with this? We'll have it do everything early. Not as early as Game Manager, but earlier than everything else. And let's see if that does any effect on it. Definitely had an effect on it. It's not working at all now. That's interesting. If I get rid of that, does it start working again? Apply. Yep, it starts working again. Although we got some really weird stuff going on back there.
Null reference. Or not null reference, but an error of some kind. Looks like there were a bunch of errors.
What do we do? Wondering why when that thing running first it didn't work at all. Move left and right. Let's try it at the end, see if that works any better. Nope, still got one that didn't move. And this just doesn't work for some reason. Yeah, that's weird. That's real weird. Why would it break if it was the first thing to run? Oh, I know why. I know why.
Pseudo input.
It's actually because it's because of game manager. If we go into game manager here right now, not a game manager. Sorry, there's one more. Pseudo input is the problem. So in late update, we're doing left pressed to right pressed, and so if we do this thing as a, it shouldn't happen after late update though. I don't think. Though I have a feeling this is actually what the problem is. So if we go to script execution order again, so if we go before, I don't know why that would be the problem. Actually, that's probably not the problem. Alright, apply.
Oh, there it is again.
What did we do that caused that?
Seems like maybe it's letting you start the game before it finishes changing the script execution order or something.
That's weird. Yeah, I think that's what it actually is. It's very strange. So, dash direction, start coroutine, dash speed, dash direction. So the situation is something spawns. Is dashing is not set. Let's do one more here. Let's just do is dashing equals true before the coroutine actually starts. I don't know why this would make a difference, but I'm just curious if it does. You know, I just back this up if it doesn't do anything right. So save, hit play. Gonna dash. Gonna dash. Nope, we still had one that was unaffected. Yep, that one's unaffected. Alright, so that didn't solve anything, so I'm gonna undo that. Alright, save. I guess what we could do is so this technically doesn't have to be a coroutine at this point, does it? because all the variables we are using aren't actually part of, with the exception of speed. Yeah, we could actually do this as a standard function call, couldn't we? So what we could do is, this might work, let's find out. Where we do if is dashing, we just run dash once on the frame. But then we have to set is dashing false at some point. Okay, never mind, that's not going to just work. Stupid edge cases. If is dashing and start coroutines. The problem is there's a frame where is dashing is not set and it gets set by something else. And then this thing doesn't start dashing with everything else.
I don't think that's the problem.
Oh, what do you think is the problem then?
I don't know, but at 60 frames or so a second,
yeah,
it seems unlikely that you would have it happen that frequently when you can only dash once every 2 seconds.
Well, I can only dash once every 2 seconds, but we spawn a lot. Like, our pillar spawner has a min spawn time of 0.1, so the chance of actually catching that is actually rather high.
Okay, maybe it is that.
Yes, well, this one wasn't affected. Now it's affected, but it wasn't at first.
So we could do that in... Oh, is that why you were wondering if you can see if a coroutine is running?
Yeah,
So
that's
you
exactly
do it in
why.
update?
Yeah, exactly. So if we weren't running a coroutine, here, let me see if it is possible to find out. Find out if my script has an active coroutine unity. Can I check if a coroutine is running? Yeah, that's kind of what we're already doing, but it's not good enough in this particular case.
Well, no, that's kind of what I was thinking would be
Yeah.
the obvious solution would be to have another bool separate for each one, and when you enter the coroutine the first time, it would flag it as the coroutine is running, and then when it ends, it would flag it as not running. And that one wouldn't be static.
I guess we could do it on update, but so this still is going to run into that same problem, isn't it? Because it'll run first. It'll say nothing's dashing, and then something will start dashing, and it'll never get that message.
Where?
I was just thinking about running it one frame after start, but that doesn't solve the problem. It just moves it by a frame. Here, let's see what other people are saying. No problem. They took me like 10 minutes. I rarely mess around with you. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed writing them, and I'm sorry that I'm not just showing them on the show right now. I might actually go back and look at this once we get through the rest of the stuff. But yeah, thank you for contributing. Really appreciate it. It's super awesome. So
Maybe we should just put a flag for now, just to keep things moving, and then if we
like
come up
what
with
flag?
another-
Where would we put the flag?
Private bool coroutine running
But where would we set the flag?
in the coroutine.
And we're already doing that right now with the flag is dashing.
That's a static.
Oh, wait. Why would it be useful to have... Okay, I see what you're saying, I think. Let's see. Let's see if this works. So private bool coroutine running equals false.
Yeah.
And then we will just do coroutine running equals true. And then, so how do we invoke this?
So now instead of doing it in start, you check and update if is dashing and not coroutine running.
Gotcha.
Start coroutine.
And not coroutine running. Good idea. I like that. Save. Play. That'll actually probably do it. Okay, now I think we have a different problem. So we have some that are moving more speed than others. Did I just probably set this false at the bottom? I did. If is dashing and not coroutine running, start coroutine dash. So what do you think this is doing?
I don't know. Are they all moving but at different speeds, or?
Looks like there were, yeah, sets of speeds, it looked like, so...
Try bringing up the scene and game side by side.
Alright.
So we don't have parallax confusing anything.
Alright. Put the scene on the left, because I like it on the left. And let's make it a little bit more space. And what are we looking at? So definitely moving in different speeds. Really might only be like the first one that, no, so that one's moving really slow for some reason, and the rest of them move a lot faster. For safety's sake, let's try something. Stop coroutine. Stop all coroutines. I don't see why that would make a difference, but it didn't. This is weird. That being said, this is also like a nightmare. So, what can we do here? So we're detecting double tap. Is dashing, not is dashing. Wait, how about this? How about we put this just in start? Wait, no, that doesn't solve the problem, right? Yeah, that doesn't solve the problem. I'm just curious if it still causes the weird multi-speed issue. No, that looks much more consistent. I swear I didn't see any of the ones that we had the problem before, but at the same time, it doesn't happen every time. Oh yeah, there we go. There's one that's not moving. Alright, so what is the difference here? Is there a situation where update is called, where is dashing would happen, coroutine running is not available, and then it does it twice for some reason?
Go to where it starts the coroutine in here.
Oh, good point.
It looks like there's nothing blocking it from starting.
Oh, from starting a second time, yes. Alright, so...
So check is if the coroutine is running, and
I'm just going to do stop all coroutines here. We'll just do a healthy dose of stopping coroutines. So now we should be guaranteed to only have one going. That's looking better. Now, do we have any rogues that are not paying attention?
So as it goes faster, you should be able to do dashes more than once every 2 seconds, right?
Why?
Because you said time.time.
Oh, no, no.
Take the time scale. And
yeah, but we're not changing time scale. We're just changing the speed of these things. So I'm just saying that if we were changing, like if we had a time slow power up or something, we'd want to appropriately handle that. So this is working. We need to tweak it a lot, but we've got 10 more minutes in the Alright, so that's working. I'm going to go ahead and check this in right now, and then we'll tweak it till the dash actually feels meaningful. And we'll also extend it so that we can use the keyboard control, which is actually pretty easy. I'll do that immediately after this. Okay, dash works now consistently. Don't look at the code. Alright, push commits. And what are we going to do? So let's tweak this thing so it feels nice. So we're going to go into our pillar parent. We're also going to... Okay, so actually, before we tweak it, let's do the other things. So we need to handle this portion. So what we're going to do is if not dashing, not is dashing, we do this. And then we additionally want to check if sudo input.instance.left press or input.getAccess horizontal is, it's not input.getAccess horizontal is less than 0.0f. And then we do the same thing for the other big check here. Greater than 0.0f. So now if we hit save and hit play, I should be able to do this on the keypad now. There we go. I'm dashing, it dashes. So right now, while we're dashing, we can actually like press another direction. So we aren't doing the these things look like they're moving, and the reason they do is because we're not moving this this background here. So we're going to have to change that function. Uh-oh. Oh. Uh-oh. I'm not double tapping. Does that happen with the clicking? No, it doesn't. It only happens with the inputting. It seems to not like that. Alright, let's find out why. So, input axis horizontal is greater than or 0.0 f. When do we do... Oh, okay, so this is part of our problem. So, not instance.right pressed and not instance.left pressed and input.get axis horizontal does not equal 0.0 f or equals 0.0 f. Save that, see if that solves that problem. May not. But it did. And now when you double tap, yay, it works. And it still works on the touching. Yep, touching works. I'm excited. So we got that working. This is a perfect example of where we are going to be duplicating a lot of code that we really... If you duplicate a lot of code, that means that you're doing... that there's ways that you could not be duplicating all that code. I'm not going to worry about fixing it up just now, though. We're just going to roll with it because we got to ship this thing. So I'm going to, what are we doing? Randomly spawn. I want to do the sudo move left and right as well. And we're going to basically duplicate a lot of this here. A whole lot of it. I'm going to copy and paste this whole chunk here. Alright, so I'm going to paste it above everything, so we're going to have some duplicated stuff in here for right now. And then what we want to do is this goes in here. And this goes in here. And this goes in here. And then finally, we want to do, what is it called? In the coroutine, we're going to need to change this line to something that looks more similar to this. I'm just going to copy this one over above it. So what this will be is vector2.right times speed times time.delta time. That looks good. And then we get rid of this update and start stuff here. And let's see if that worked. So we're going to save that. We're going to see if there's any errors. Shocking. No errors. Let's see if it actually works. So when we're moving, it's moving. And when we double tap, it did work actually. It just didn't look like it worked because we don't have the settings the same on the special effects. So if we go to special effects, we go to the inspector, and then we go into... I'm going to create a second inspector. I'm going to create a add tab inspector. And I'm going to lock this one on here and make it dock it to the right. So now we can see special effects, and then I can click on pillar and we can see that at the same time. And what we're going to do is we want pillar parent, move left and right. We want to match these speed values and stuff. So what we want is speed for... Wait, no, not special effects. Sorry, it's on the ground stuff. So unlock this. So move left and right. These have slightly different changes. No, they don't actually. They look exactly the same. So we're going to lock this one now on the grid 32, and we're going to look at our pillar parent again. So our pillar parent, move left and right, we want these values to be relatively appropriate here. So dash speed in this case would be negative 2. And dash duration would be 2. We want to match those. And double tap speed 0.5, that'll be fine. And we will do the same thing with grid 8. So grid 8, we want negative 2, dash duration of 2. And I'm going to go ahead and close this bonus inspector again. And we're going to hit play. And so when we dash, looks like we're dashing. So is there ever a place where it feels like the ground is not moving at the same rate as the pillars? No, that's looking pretty good. Actually, I feel like the movement is actually not moving with the pillars when we're doing normal movement. No, it is. So that looks pretty good. Alright, so obviously our dash we don't actually want to be exactly like that. So it is a bummer that we have to change this in like 3 different places, slightly different variations. But let's make our dash 1 second long. And let's make the dash speed, let's triple the dash speed instead. And we're going to go into our pillar, and we're going to do the same thing, 1, and then speed will triple it. And we hit play. And actually, let's go with dash duration of 0.75. Again, on ground grid, 0.75. Alright, so I'm going to give it a playthrough with these settings. So that dash of 0.5, I accidentally dashed once already, so I might want to tone that down a little bit. I want to actually get to a situation where I feel like I need to save my life with a dash. I'm going to try and beat my old score. Oh, see, that was an accidental dash. Another accidental dash. That was accidental, but it saved my life, I think. I just dashed to save my life. Oh, and I died. That felt pretty good. That felt pretty good, except for the accidental dashing. So let's make the double tap speed. I'm going to have it. We're going to do 25 here. And we're going to go on to the pillars and change it to 0.25 as well. I'm going to give it one more play. And then we're probably going to check in what we've got and call that an episode.
When it gets to the speed at which you need the dash, it's kind of more of a, I don't think I can make it through this. Hopefully the dash will save me.
Well, there's a calculated, because there's left or right, right? So there's a calculated risk involved. It's like hyperspace in the good old Space Invaders, not Space Invaders, Asteroids game.
If it looks like there's fewer cylinders on the right, then you can pick right or something.
Yeah. It's something, though. It adds one more layer, and I like that. I like having just one little extra thing in there. That was an accidental dash. But I'm not sure if I want to set that time much lower than it already is.
It might change depending on what device we're publishing to.
Oh, just by how you tap on the screen?
Yeah, taps might feel different from the keys and stuff.
Yeah, that's part of the reason that I was so generous. 0.5 was definitely too generous. 0.25, I'm going to put 0.2. This is, I think 0.2 is the default Unreal Tournament double tap speed for 2K4.
For like dodging or...
For like dodge, yeah, the dodge roll thing. If you have it enabled, you can actually turn it off, but...
why would anyone do that?
Yeah, agreed.
If you dodge roll and follow it by a jump, then you dodge like twice as far.
This is true. I'm glad you know that. They had a lot of cool tertiary techniques in that game. Like I love shock rifles and stuff like that. The fact that you can like click them and stuff. I'm actually having a little too much fun playing this game because I realized that I'm now 2 minutes past the end of this episode, and I'm just like really happy to be testing this. This actually plays a lot more fun than I thought it was going to. Quite frankly,
that's always.
It is nice. It's nice when there's a little surprise like that. So.
You keep getting like 4 sets of pillars to go through.
Yeah.
Nice. It was nice of the game to randomly give you a little break.
Yeah, that was nice. What was my score?
Just under your high score.
Okay. Well, cool. I'm going to submit what we got. Let's actually save scene, save project. Save scene, save project. Yeah, there's more things in there now. So commit dash game feel tweaks feeling good. And it didn't want me to use game feel as a word, and I hate it for that, so I'm going to change that back. So push commits immediately to origin. Oh wait, and we missed one more. Rotate based on input. Somehow this isn't. Wait, we didn't have this checked in. My apologies. This should have been checked in last episode. Well, that's a bummer. Missed a check-in. There, that one. I'll see if I can get that added to the episode pack for wherever we added that, which I think was episode 21. So I will try and append that to our thing there. I think I can do that very easily. So because Git's actually pretty awesome. So what are we doing? We're gonna close and we're gonna go just the face. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you had a good time. I know I did. Please email me pushypixels@pushypixels.com if you have any questions. You can also tweet me at Drakfire. That's DRAKFYRE. Support the Kickstarter is awesome. And thank you very much for joining us. And we'll see you in an hour with more Cooking with Unity. We're going to do some more final stuff like credits and game submission materials. So upcoming in the next few hours.
See you guys at 8:30 Pacific.